Hey, you. Yes, you. Are you tired of losing your 50/50s? Do you wish you could flex your Caesar King to all of your friends? Well, I have the perfect solution for you. Hi, I'm Flossin on you, a professional 50/50 winner, and I'm doing a $50 giveaway of Polychrome for Zenless Zone Zero, and you could be that lucky winner. All you have to do is like, subscribe, and join the Discord server. We'll announce the winners there, along with all the juicy rules for the giveaway. By not subscribing and joining the Discord, you're basically telling yourself, yeah, I'm cool with pulling Nekomata for the third time. Yikes. So, subscribe, and subscribe again for your guaranteed Caesar King or Bernice. Disclaimer, Polychrome giveaway may cause extreme excitement, uncontrollable flexing of Caesar King, spontaneous gameplay sessions, and an overwhelming urge to join the Zenless community. Side effects may include, but are not limited to, enhanced gaming skills, intense discussions about the best agent builds, and an increased likelihood of encountering rare agents. Consult your in-game friends before participating. Zenless Zone Zero and Flossin on you is not responsible for any side effects resulting from this excessive excitement. What's up guys, it's Flossin. Today's topic is one I've been waiting to get into for a while, so let's get straight into it. At the time of this recording, it's October 4th, 2024, and it's been about 3 months since Zenless Zone Zero dropped. With all the new updates, events, and agents that have come out so far, I wanted to give my honest, unbiased thoughts on how I feel about Zenless Zone Zero so far. If this video ends up helping you out, don't forget to drop a like down below. It's completely free and lets me know that you enjoy this type of content. Now, with formalities out of the way, let's talk games. So first up, let's talk about the overall gameplay experience in Zenless. It's the driving force of the game, and let's be real, it's the most important thing about it. From the beginning, starting with Ambi up until now, I've been hooked on how smooth and rewarding the combat feels. The diversity of combos each agent has is pretty impressive, and the dodging and parry mechanics make you really think during the fights. In my opinion, people who picked up Zenless and dropped it early on missed out on the combat's real depth. A lot of them claimed it's just basic attack, and then EX special when it's ready. But it couldn't be further from the truth, especially when it comes to a character like Ambi. For example, Ambi thrives off of timing her final basic attack for maximum damage and dazing enemies. Mashing her basic combo makes you lose out on that damage, and while it's not a huge deal early on, it highlights how much depth there is underneath the surface. And we're only scratching the surface here, no pun intended. Characters like Bernice, who can set up fire anomalies off the field, show how combat mechanics are continuing to evolve in the game. Now, I'll admit it, early game enemies were a bit on the easy side. You could spam attacks, and they wouldn't put up much of a fight. The pacing was also pretty slow at times. The infamous TV system was a major pain point for a lot of players, and I totally get why people quit. I've made my thoughts on the TV system pretty clear before. You can check that video out if you're interested, link in the description. But the good news is, the devs are aware of these early in-game issues and are working on improving them in future updates. Speaking of updates, that brings me to my next point. Content. Zenless has been delivering quality updates, and they've been coming really fast. Whether it's pre-built squads, backup battery charges, extra UI icons during combat, or even walkthroughs on how to play agents, it just feels like there's always something new being added. Everything so far just feels good. Whether you're a casual player or someone who grinds the game daily, there's something here for everyone. Honestly, I don't have any complaints about the quality of life improvements the devs have been making. But there is something that's been on my mind lately. As time goes on, there's been a noticeable complexity gap between older and newer agents in Zenless Zone Zero. While some might see this as a start of power creep, I don't think we've reached that point yet. And honestly, I don't see it as a bad thing when it comes to introducing new agents. Let's break this down a bit further. If we look at the earlier patches, like the ones that introduced Ellen and Ju-Yun, their kits were pretty straightforward. They had easy to understand abilities with some room for advanced playstyles, but they were accessible for new and veteran players alike. These agents offered a balanced experience where you can hop into the game, enjoy their mechanics, and improve over time without too steep of a learning curve. But then came patch 2, with Ching Yi, Jane Doe, and our first A-rank character Seth, and wow, holy back reading. For hardcore players, this is a dream come true, but for someone just picking up the game, it's a lot. I found myself reading the in-game manual when I first started the game for about an hour and a half just to understand the core mechanics of the gameplay itself, not even including the agents. The complexity is awesome, but I get why it might turn some people off. Most players just want to grab their new agent and dive into gameplay. That said though, the complexity does add layers of depth, and I think that they will benefit the game in the long term. Now, let's talk about something we all love to hate: the Gacha System. As of patch 1.2, there are 4 banners in Zenless: the channel exclusive, the channel W engine, the channel stable, and the channel bang boo. The channel exclusive and W engine banners are where you pull for the new limited agent and their W engine, respectively. You've got a 50-50 shot at the agent after 90 pulls, and a 75-25 shot at their W engine after 80 pulls. Sounds pretty simple, right? Well, not really. The conversion system in the game can be confusing for new players, and I think they made it that way to nudge people towards spending money. For example, to try to guarantee Caesar, you need 90 encrypted master tapes, but don't get those confused with regular master tapes, which you can use on the stable banner. You can grind for polychrome, but you need 160 polychrome to convert that into 1 encrypted master tape. Or you can buy monochrome with real money, convert that into polychrome, which then you convert 160 polychrome back into 1 encrypted master tape. Was that confusing? Yeah, that was pretty confusing, I'm not gonna lie. Good, because it's meant to be. This system is convoluted, and while the pity is fair, the complexity feels like it's an intentional barrier to push players towards spending, which I personally don't like. I wouldn't say this type of approach will make or break your experience, but it definitely is my biggest gripe when it comes to these type of games. But let's say you've mastered the game's gacha system and you have your agents. Now what? Where do you take them to really push their limits? Well, this is where Zenless actually really starts to shine, in my opinion. In contrast to its slower beginnings, the devs have quickly added new features and expanded the playable content, giving you multiple ways to experience and enjoy the game at a higher level. At the time of this recording, there are several ways to test your agents in both regular and hardcore environments. One of the standout additions is Shiyu Defense, which offers 4 different modes where you can push your team and see how they hold up under pressure. This variety allows you to experiment with different setups and strategies, perfect for players who love to refine their tactics and see how far they can go with their favorite agents. Another major piece of endgame content is the roguelike mode inside Hollow Zero. Originally, there was only 1 game mode available, but now, with the additions of Throne Infernal Reap and Blitz Withering Garden, the game has opened up far more opportunities for prolonged gameplay and challenging battles. These modes allow for replayability and are designed not just to test your agent's strength, but also your ability to adapt to different situations. It's a great way to keep things fresh, especially for those who enjoy high-stake gameplay. To be honest, this fast rollout of combat has been a huge relief for me. Coming from a game like Honkai Star Rail, I often found myself frustrated by the lack of meaningful in-game content. The pacing there just didn't keep up with my interest, and I ended up putting it down for that reason. Zenless, however, has avoided that trap so far. The devs have been really quick to introduce new modes and challenges, which keeps the gameplay exciting and ensures that you always have something to do, whether it's testing new agents or refining your strategy in harder modes. If you're someone who loves diving into the game's mechanics and pushing your team to their limits, these additions really make a difference. The combination of Shiyu Defense and the expanded Hollow Zero modes creates a more layered and variety in-game experience, making Zenless far more engaging than when it first launched. It's great to see how much content has been added to the game in such short time, addressing one of my biggest complaints early on in Honkai Star Rail. There simply wasn't enough to do for me. Now, however, the game has evolved into a much more robust and satisfying experience for those who want to stick around long term. So, while it may have taken a few months for the endgame to flesh out, Zenless is in a much better place now, and it feels like there's plenty to keep up with for both casual and hardcore players. Whether you're looking to casually enjoy the new content or grind it out every day, the current in-game content is a solid step forward and is definitely worth exploring. So, with gameplay, discussion of agents, the gacha system, and the in-game content talked about, how do I feel about Zenless? Is it good? Should you play it or give it another try? Here's my honest opinion, and I won't hold back. If the gameplay of Zenless turns you off in the beginning, you're probably better off not returning. The core functions of the game will always be the same, from now till the end of it. Of course, enemies, bosses, and even agents will change over time, but the core mechanics of the game will never change. If that didn't suit you from the first stage with Ambi, returning now won't make you like the game any more than you did before. However, if you did like the gameplay, but were turned off by the small amount of actual gameplay with characters, making a return might be the way to go. I personally think with the current banner of Caesar King going, and Bernice right around the corner, this would be the best time to jump into the game and give it another try. Caesar is hands down one of the best agents to come out as far as account value and versatility, which can make your account very comfy when it comes to getting through content. I still have my personal gripe when it comes to the banner system, but it is to be expected that if you don't play the game, you can't get new agents. I would personally like to have a guaranteed W engine banner and an easier time understanding how the banner system works, but alas, we can't have it all. I also think the quick updates and quality of life changes will make your life easier if you're trying to pick up the game. Although the gacha system may be confusing, the game does try to help you understand any smaller systems in the game. For example, the disk drive system, whose skills you should level, as well as the Agent Academy, where you can learn how agents work. Keep in mind that this is just the first 3 months of the game being out, and there are plenty more of these updates to come in the future. But I think that's enough yapping out of me, especially considering how long the script was for this video. But I'm curious, what do you guys think? How do you feel about Zenless after 3 months? Do you think players should return to the game? And is there anything I forgot to talk about in this video? Let me know in the comments. Also, if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to drop a like down below. It's completely free and lets me know that you enjoy this type of content. Until next time though, happy gaming, and may your pulls be ever in your favor.